any possible solutions to energy, like how can we influence people to make the switch? Like what policies can we make?
The main point is motivation, like or education.
I think it all comes down to saying we have to get the group like the mass behind it saying like this is what we want to do, and then we have to get it to the government saying this is the route we want to take because it all begins with the government because the government's going to put I mean, as bad as it is to say, I'm not going to say government regulation is good by all means, but something like this regards, it's always going to be the cheaper route for companies, and it's proven. So government has to step in, and set places to say like tax breaks maybe. So basically, that's how you get companies to do stuff. It's tax breaks. Get them to do this. Might be a little more expensive, but it's going to make everyone better off. So we have to get our government wanting to do something, which is tough. And then we got to say, hey, tax breaks is a big one, I think. If you use your plant to produce. I know traffic or what is it? You said it was trading cap or something like that. Well, trading cap is something like where you the government comes in and says you only can produce this amount of CO2 pollution, and basically, based on each firm's need to produce is like they'll trade. There'll be permits in the economy, and so say like we're gonna allow 500 cubic meters of gas to be produced, so there should be 500 permits that the government's gonna give out, and then there's like literally markets that companies will trade the permits and stuff like that, and who needs them and when, what I mean? Like, that's like a way of solving it too, is possibly cap and trade programs. I know that's a big one, at least in production now, but it's still not even that big. Like, there's not much regulation in the government right now for stuff like that. I mean, the Clean Air Act was in 1970. That was like a huge one, and then Obama, I think, passed something, I forget what was it, last term or this term, but
this is first term.
Something to do with I don't know what it's called.
I forget the exact name of it. It was based off a California project.
Yeah.
That he just implemented around the whole country. Yeah. So that's kind of going to the California thing. I kind of like their model right now. Right now, their requirements are like 20% of the energy has to be created by renewable energy. Or appliances have to use 20% renewable energy, and then by 2020...
What do you mean by appliances? Like when they produce the appliances or when the appliances are in use?
Just the appliances that are in use. It's saying they want... Or the energy being supplied to those is supposed to be 20% renewable.
Okay. So 20% of the energy in the economy is renewable.
Yeah, and by 2020, they're making it so 33% has to be renewable.
And I remember the 2020 in Obama's plan too. Yeah, it was like... something about 2020.
So I kind of like that model where it's like, hey, if you're not using this, you're gonna get fined or something like that.
Which is it's also too is not saying like do it right away. It's giving them a time frame where it's saying do it by this date. We're gonna give you plenty of warning and stuff, but do it by this date. You're not gonna get fined and stuff like that, which is good. Which is what people. You don't want to be too harsh because you want them to do it correctly and stuff.
There's a problem for like people living paycheck to paycheck. It will be hard for them to do that, but I feel like there's enough government programs to where they could, possibly get the money or something like that to be able to do it. And as we advance, these products are going to become cheaper because they're going to become more available. So
that's true. No, you're correct. Every time there's a market for something, and people say like, oh, everyone's Teslas, everyone's going to reduce it, the price is going to go down. That's just the problem. This is the problem. Is right where we're at right now is it's like the tipping point. We're not there yet where everyone wants it, but like Tesla's become everyone knows Tesla now. Like 2005 or 2 was when a company came out or something like that. I couldn't even told you anything about it, but now like we're getting to the point where I think it's gonna start changing soon, which is cool.
Yeah.
You just gotta get the economy behind or the people behind you because that's where it's gonna change. Do you guys have any other tidbits way do you think we could fix this?
I mean, like the things we talked about is like somewhat forceful, right? Like government forcing people.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
is there a way you could think of
education maybe?
Education,
like when we were young, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's like every one of us know the sustainability is really important, but we still can't change it now.
Yeah, cause
Yeah,
maybe
that's-
we're used to it, and yeah, I know. I think I grew up like saying like that Korea is like a water lag country, and all that, and I don't know, like the education wasn't too helpful because I've been wasting water like life. But yeah, I think it would be better if like each individual. I mean, it's like a utopia, but I don't know.
Right.
It's a very ideal, but yeah. So like we could think of a way like if so, like people are self motivated on like saving this energies.
Now, what if I'm not saying this is like the correct way, but what if the government came with a policy saying every product had to be labeled with saying like, you know how like cigarettes kill or something like that, where it's like this product uses so and so an hour, or this product, you know, is detriments society somehow, you know, like how much energy it uses or something like that, you know, like if the government made companies put on like energy requirements, say like if it does use energy, how much does it use, and like basically put it into terms like so a way like a human can think about it, you know, like saying I don't want to be like this answer, but like cigarette kills is like you look at the people and you see like dead babies or something like that, you know, like, it's just like it's putting like an I don't want to say like we don't need like commercials saying oh you better drive cars that don't use electric or only electric cars or you're gonna like dead baby, like, you know, the concept screen. But it's something like that. Like, is that like a way to?
Yeah, that's a way.
I
Yeah,
feel
that's
like
a way to.
it'll
Like,
definitely catch
inform.
people's attention.
yeah.
Because you just don't think about it. Like, you know what I mean? When you go for a glass of water from the fridge and get the ice cubes out, you just I mean, I guess it uses like that's probably you don't think about it, it's like a $2 cup of ice water because of all the energy you use. You know, I mean, it's probably not that expensive, but it's the idea of putting maybe like a monetary amount on stuff and then make people think more. Because I think it all comes back to money for most people.
Definitely.
It definitely all comes back to money. I feel like the only way anything's gonna get done is either you make it more expensive to use like gas and fossil fuels and inefficient things, or you make it cheaper for the renewable resources.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only way people are gonna get on board, or majority of the population.
I think it's around like 20.
Okay.
Good.
20, you said?
It was around that.
Let's go to around like 18 or so.
Yeah.
So, from what I'm getting from what we're having right now is we need to. It starts with the public perception changing. Maybe that could be caused by education. You know, the government maybe putting steps of like that in. But until education changes and like the public knows energy efficiency and the want for it to change, it's not going to happen. So once that happens, we could maybe go to the government and ask for regulation and stuff like tax breaks and stuff. But do we all agree that the beginning is with the masses wanting it?
Right.
Yeah.
And what? So we talked about like punishing and like fining. What about like the system was rewarding?
Yeah, like
Like,
lower property tax
We're
for
like
having
rewarding
an
really
electric car or
work.
something.
I forget where it was, but holy crap! It was some type of machine. I don't really know, but literally like you. It was something with renewable energy, but you literally put like an empty soda can in like a machine and like you would put it in and like I don't know if a new soda came out or like a couple pennies came out or a clean glass of water came out or something weird like that. But like I think it was some advertisement for a company, but they put it in and it was really cool. I don't know. Like is that like a possible way? Is like is we talk about rewarding like if you're gonna walk to work, you get like a
like
Something
something
like
like
that.
that. Yeah, something
It's
like
like in China, people just like you give the 5 bottles to the company and they will give you one, and you the bottle is full of water and it's not renewable.
So I know at least for companies like if you join like a gym or something, they'll like lower the premium for your insurance, like you know what I mean, because that's like you're bettering yourself. And stuff like that.
something
So
like
I feel like you
yeah.
could easily implement something like that. Like, oh, you're not driving to work anymore. You're taking public transit. You should get public transit for free. That's also something I feel like making. If you made public transit like not, because I don't want to say it's free because then it's gonna make we're gonna get taxed for it, so it's not really gonna be free. So is there a way to
Like a discount.
say like maybe you brought a friend with you on to take the train with you. Like maybe he rides for free or you ride for free. You know, something like maybe like you influencing others to make like a smarter call, like promoting transportation and stuff like that. Simple things. Like I know a lot of people with bike lanes. People are like renting out bicycles, and then I think the university was talking about too is giving students free bikes to like rent for the semester or like use and stuff. Like promoting healthy and like maybe commuting without using energy and stuff like that. I feel like there's a lot of ways that we can promote if like using less energy, and while also getting your point across and stuff.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything else to add?
It's not really a new thing being brought up, but I feel like when just kind of getting people like self-motivated by making these restrictions, like saying, oh, this has to be this amount of percent reusable energy, I think it kind of like indirectly like creates interest, because if you're getting charged more, you want to know why, so you're gonna research it yourself. So you're gonna look into it. You'll be like, oh wow, that's actually a really good cause, and you're gonna be more on board with it anyway. So I think it's kind of like a circle where it's gonna create its own kind of self-motivation at the same time. So.
I don't know, like Fitbit, if anyone has used those, but they're like, you can like track your steps and like you can get goals and stuff. My dad's into it, he's crazy, but like you'll see pace and stuff, but like, you know what I mean, like stuff's cool like that, like, oh, you walk this much, you save this many gallons, you know, or like translating the cost. I feel like there's so much like cool ways you can implement, like enjoying saving energy, you know, like making it kind of like a game. I feel like a lot of people could enjoy something like that.
Like the pocket points.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I get to go get a free Bradley sandwich. I'd love that.
Just make it more fun. People will like take care about it.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever take the course like BA 342? You guys are not business guys. Like our students in business school need to like take that class. And
is it business ethics?
Yes, business administration. Yeah.
But is it like something about ethics?
Yeah.
I think my friend took that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we need to like sign in the website about how to save the environment, and we'll like record our actions every day, like how many bottles you have recycled today, and you'll get some point, and then you'll get extra credit for this class.
Yeah.
And I think that's really help.
That's also like I know like my dad's work. One time gave like all their employees like trees or something like that. And there's literally my dad has that tree growing in our backyard, and I mean think about it. If he's a big company, if you, I think it was just like his local like place where he worked. I think got trees, but like you know what I mean, like cool stuff like that where people don't realize like, hey, you're planting a tree, and you're kind of lessening your footprint on the environment, stuff like that, you know. Because not only that, it's like now that he's like actually taking care of the trees, like growing and stuff. Because something's like a tree is a gift. Like you wouldn't think of it as something like kind of makes you want to take care of it. And, like, just small stuff like that could influence people. So I think to wrap it up, we're gonna sit there's.
7, like,
what's up?
So do we have to choose a specific thing to implement?
Well, yeah, that's what our solution is. Basically, is education. You can start with the government doing it. Like it could start with what we're talking about, just games, simple ways to get people to think about being self-conscious about energy. And once you get the public together on something, then you can get to the like there's stuff happening where they'll be like, hey, we want to make the change of like spending this much more on infrastructure and setting up the stuff in place to become more efficient. Because without it, you're going to have people complaining about it. But if you get people behind stuff, like, it will get done. Like, that's my way. So education through simple games and, like, projects, like, as simple as giving a tree or as, you know, picking up trash. Basically, like, making everyone earth conscious will influence the goals of what we want. And that's basically getting the government to put in regulations to say tax breaks and, say maybe like limits on how much pollution you can have, and so like saying putting labels on stuff saying how much energy this used, and that's through public perception, and I think that's the end game. Like that's public perception is how it's going to influence our solution. So, is everyone happy with this?
Yeah.
All right, we good?
Yeah, we good.